students, I welcome all of you in the another session of traffic engineering, or I should say traffic engineering, transportation engineering. So the name of the subject is transportation engineering, and currently we are learning various kind of surveys which are included in traffic engineering. This is the second segment that deals with the highway transportation, and this is the last part of that segment, actually sequential last part, actually that is the second part that we are dealing with the traffic engineering. So let us discuss about that. In we will continue our last session that we had left. We will be covering about the values, various kind of traffic volume count, traffic volume surveys and methods. So let us revise the thing that we had learned that there are total VSFOPAC kind of surveys. V stands for volume survey, S stands for speed survey, O stands for origin and destination, F stands for flow characteristic survey, P stands for traffic parking survey, A stands for accident survey, and T stands for traffic capacity survey. Out of which we will deal with the traffic volume survey or traffic volume studies. So first thing that we need to learn is that I have already discussed in my many of the lectures that whenever we are trying to learn a new thing, we should be well aware of three questions. What is that thing? Why we need to learn that thing? How we can learn that thing? So why we need to learn traffic surveys? What are the necessity of traffic studies? So why we need to learn what are the necessities? So the necessity can be answered in the form of objects. So the first is that to analyze the available road facility, whenever we conduct traffic survey, we will know the scenario of the available road facilities, that what are the facilities available and what are the kind of facilities that we need to provide additionally. Then after analyzing the available facilities, we can suggest the measures to increase the traffic flow capacity of the road. We can suggest the suitable measures to control the speed. We can analyze the accidents and suggest suitable measures to reduce those accidents also with the help of studies, because we will dealing with the accident studies also. We can also forecast future traffic by analyzing the present traffic. We can provide parking spaces with the help of conducting parking studies. We can collect the information on geometric design of highway. So these are the necessity, or I should say the objects of traffic studies, that with the help of these studies we can analyze the available road facility. We can suggest how to increase the flow capacity. We can suggest the suitable measures to control the speed, to control the accidents, to forecast the future traffic by analyzing the present traffic. We will done all those things by various kind of predictive methods. In another subject of transportation engineering, we can analyze that how much parking space is available and which additional space do we need to provide, and we can collect this information of various side distances, super elevation, various kind of geometric design criteria of the highways also. So out of all the survey, the first is about VSFOPAC. What's the shortcut key? And V stands for volume studies. So we will be discussing about volume studies. Let us discuss about volume studies. So what is traffic volume? So the number of vehicles crossing the section of road per unit time at selected period. You can remember this, or you can memorize this definition without mugging up. Just remember the concept. The number of vehicles that are crossing the section of road per unit time at selected period. So this kind of thing is known as traffic volume. Once again, the number of vehicles crossing the section of road per unit time at selected period. This is the method to remember this definition. Is called as traffic volume studies, and the unit is vehicle per hour because we are considering unit time. So this number of vehicles have crossed in this hour, means 50 vehicles per hour are crossing the section of road, so the volume will be 50 vehicles per hour or 50 vehicles per day. You can consider it in the form of hour, in the form of minutes, in the form of seconds, in the form of day, but actually in the form of hour and day is the majorly considerable criteria. So this was the definition of traffic volume. Let us revise that once again. Number of vehicle crossing the section of road per unit time at selected period. Unit is vehicle per day, vehicle per hour. Now, what are the objects and uses of traffic volume studies? Why I need to calculate traffic volume? What I will be getting after calculating that how much this much of vehicles are crossing this section of road in this hour? So why we need to learn that thing? Objects and uses. So once you analyze that this much of vehicles are crossing this section of road in this time, you can get the indicator to decide the priority of that road. Means if there is a certain road and very less vehicles are traveling on that road, then the importance of the road, that road is quite less. But if there is a road which is having higher volume count, then it means it needs priority in the expansion, in the maintenance. So the volume count is the true indicator of deciding the priority for importance and expansion. Traffic volume count is required to plan, control, and operate the existing facility. To plan the new facility, that how much facility will be required in future. To analyze the traffic pattern and trends, that in this hour means from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. number of vehicles are 20% more. From 1 p.m. to what I can say 5 p.m. the vehicles are 30% less. This is called as traffic pattern. So by calculating this traffic volume, you can analyze the traffic pattern and trends. You can consider and calculate CVC. CVC stands for classified volume count. Means classified volume count means what? Classified volume count. This kind of total number of 50 two-wheelers have gone, 60 number of cars have gone, 30 scooters have gone, have traveled, 50 trucks have gone. So these are various kind of vehicles which have been classified. And if you want to know that which class of vehicle has traveled on the road section, then this particular study is known as classified volume count. To help the structural and geometric design of pavement, planning the footpath, sidewalk, crosswalk means zebra crossing, subways, etc. And to define the turning moment study, intersection design, if you want to design intersection, the rotary, the circle, what I can say means Darpan circle or a Navrang circle, that particular rotary traffic movement can be designed with the help of traffic volume study. And to determine that which kind of vehicles are using this road on major criteria means certain roads are there which are used by trucks majorly, certain roads are there which are used by buses, certain roads are there which are used by two-wheeler vehicles. So you can analyze that this kind of vehicles are using this road on major. So these are the objects and uses of traffic volume studies. Indicator, controlling existing facility, new facility, traffic pattern and trends, classified volume count, planning sidewalks, footpaths, turning moment study, types of vehicle, etc. Now traffic, to conduct the traffic volume study, you how do you calculate traffic volume study? You need to conduct another studies to get the number of traffic volume. So to calculate the traffic volume, you have to conduct surveys of classes of vehicle, number of vehicle, you have to count number of vehicle, you have to count that vehicles are going in which direction, you have to count peak period or peak hour period count means in 9 to 12 or 5 to 7 which kind of vehicles are traveling. So number of vehicle, class of vehicle, direction of vehicle, and peak or peak hour vehicles. Now let us discuss about the counting of traffic volume, that how this traffic volume can be calculated. So majorly there are two methods to calculate traffic volume. First is the mechanical method and second is the manual method. As the name suggests, mechanical stands for automatic and manual stands for the process in which the people like us means the engineers are involved. Now, the mechanical can be divided into two another parts: fixed mechanical and portable mechanical. Fixed means the instrument which cannot be vary from place to place, and portable means you can lift, you can put at another side. Once the survey is completed, you can again lift and you can put on another side. This mechanical count of traffic volume, mechanical counters automatically record the number of vehicles which are crossing on the road. You do not need to go and count. You just have to put the instrument and they will count on themselves automatically. They work by the effect of impulses or stimuli. Stimuli means what I can say. Let us assume that this is a pipe. This pipe I have put from this section to this section of road, and if any vehicle passes on this, this pipe will move downward, and once the vehicle is crossed, the pipe will come upward. So this stimuli effect or impulses can give us the number of traffic movement of vehicles. So this is how the automatically traffic volume count can be calculated. It is having certain advantages, certain disadvantages. Advantages such as it can work throughout the day, it can also work throughout the night. You do not need to supervise whether the machine is working or not. and it is suitable wherever long counts are required. 24-hour survey is required because as we humans cannot conduct survey for 24 hours, it is very difficult for us. Otherwise after 24 hours we will not be in existence actually. And disadvantage is that you cannot calculate the data of classified volume count. Means the truck can also cause stimulate or impulse, the car can also cause, cycle can also cause. So you cannot get the data that whether the cycle has crossed the road or the truck has crossed the road. Then you cannot get the data that the vehicles were turned or took u-turn or not. Means turning moment data you cannot get. And you cannot get the data of pedestrian traffic because it may happen that while as a pedestrian, mean when we are walking on the road, we are pedestrian, we may jump over the tube or jump over that particular pipe. So no stimuli or no impulse will be caused. So these are certain disadvantages. If we are talking about a manual, then there are certain members like us, like me and you engineers, we collect the data and necessary information which is required at the certain point of roadway. There are certain advantages such as classified volume count for each class can be obtained, directional count can be obtained, number of vehicles can be obtained. Disadvantages such as we cannot work for 24 hours, it is not our capacity. It is laborious job. We may find it a boring job, tedious, costly because you have to hire people, you have to pay wages to them, you have to give salaries to them just to stand on the road and count the vehicles. So this is about the counting of traffic volume. That there are two methods, mechanical and manual, and this is how you can calculate. Now we will discuss about the mechanical counters. First is about the pneumatic tube, that is also called as road tube. We are doing discussing about the mechanical kind, means automatic counter. So it is like this. You can find it like the tube has been fixed by that person on the road, and it has been fixed, and the another part is attached to another section of road. Like this, you can see over the figure. Like this, and once the vehicle crosses this particular thing, it will cause the impulse. Now the pneumatic road tube sensors send a burst of air pressure along the road tube when vehicle tires passes over the tube, as I have discussed. It is the thick wall flexible tube, 10 to 12 centimeter 12 mm diameter, means 1 to 1.2 centimeter diameter, 3 mm thick, one end sealed and one is clamped to the road surface, and road surface the clamp to the road surface fixed to the road surface at the right angle to the pavement. Another end is connected with the counter or diaphragm as I have showed in the particular figure. So this is the pneumatic tube that we have discussed. It is like this. See, like this. You can see over here that black line, that is the tube. And once the vehicle passes that, the pneumatic tube will cause the, what I can say, the rising graph. Now let us discuss about second instrument, that is electric contact device. What, how it works actually? Electric contact device means there is a pair of steel strips which are contained in the rubber. Steel strips are contained in the rubber pad which is buried beneath the road surface. You have to put that beneath the road surface. When it is pressed by the weight of moving axle or the moving axle, when the vehicle passes over that, that strip come in the contact with each other and cause the electric current to flow. And this electric contact devices are installed in each lane. So this is the second device that is called as the electric contact device. This is how it works. Now third is about the coaxial cable. Now how it works, it is clamped across the road surface just like the pneumatic tube. Signals are generated when the vehicle passes over it. These signals actuate the counter. It is having less susceptibility to damage. These cables are very strong and there are less chances of getting damage. Fourth is about the photoelectric device. Now, how it works, what is the working mechanism? So it is like this that I have shown in the particular figure. You can see over here. I have zoomed out the particular thing in the photo. How it works? It works like on the one end of the road is a source of light. Means this is the road surface. At one end, the source of light emits a beam across the road. Means the light is falling over this section. And another end, there is a photocell which can distinguish between the light between and the absence of light beam. Means this is the light emitting, the light is coming on this surface. Once the vehicle crosses, the light will not come to this surface because the vehicle will take the light. and for certain moments the light beam will be obstructed, and this will be detected by that this post photocell. It will this photocell will what I can say understand that certain thing has crossed the road that has obstructed the light coming from this to this place, and this is how obstruction can be caused by the pedestrian also, and this is how it works. I have shown actually in the figure photo. Now fifth is the radar. Now that works on the Doppler effect. When we were children in the school, when we were students in the school, uh, or nowadays also, we may encounter that whenever we are studying over here, and an ambulance is coming from the far place, the sound of that ambulance is different. When the ambulance crosses nearby us, the sound is different, and when it passes by, the sound is different. So what happens? The sound differs or not? No, the sound does not differ, but it works on the Doppler effect. Now what is the Doppler effect? It compares the frequency of transmitted with the transmitted frequency of the reflected signal. When the moving vehicle interrupts the signal, the frequency difference exists. It can be mounted horizontally or mounted overhead like this. Fine. So this is how you can understand the concept of that thing. Then the another device is infrared device. Now how the infrared device works, let us learn the working mechanism of that. This device utilizes the pickup cell which is similar to the photoelectric cell, and it is sensitive to the infrared. Means from this device, what I can say, this is the road width, this is one end, this is another end. The infrared section is putting what I can say reflecting the beams of infrared, and whenever a vehicle is obstructing that thing, it is sensed that certain thing has come which has obstructed the vision of infrared light, and this which is mounted on the road surface, on the bridge or sign structure, and this is how it can be assumed, it can be analyzed that certain vehicles have crossed or certain obstruction has caused. Now the another device is magnetic device. Now what is the working mechanism of magnetic device? In this device, the detection is done by the signal or impulse which is caused by the moving vehicle by disturbing the magnetic field. Same as radar or infrared, but in this, the instead of light, the magnetic field is created, and whenever a vehicle is crossing, the magnetic field will be disturbed, and it will be analyzed that certain thing has caused the obstruction in the magnetic field, and this is how the count can be achieved. It is more durable but more expensive than the pneumatic detector. Then comes the ultrasonic device in which the operation is similar to radar unit, which I have already narrated, I have already explained. The beam crosses the road and it is broken by the passage of vehicle. Now the another, we have learnt about the mechanical or automatic counters. Now we will discuss about the manual counters. In manual counters, the member of the field team collect the necessary information required at the certain point of roadway. It is having certain advantages such as I have already narrated that classified volume count can be achieved, directional count can be achieved, number of vehicles can be obtained. It is also having certain disadvantages such as it is not possible for 24 hours. It is tedious and laborious. So we have learned about the mechanical counters and manual counters. In mechanical counters, we have learned about the pneumatic tube, radar method, infrared method, magnetic device, electric contact device, tube method, and in manual counter we have learned certain advantages and disadvantages. You have got the point. Go through the lecture once again, make notes. Thank you so much.